It's midday and you're welcome to Newsbeat here on Metro TV. We're live from the Akria Boahima studio at North Ridge. Follow us on social media. Facebook is Metro TV Ghana, Instagram and Twitter is Metro TV_GH. I am Ania Fompo. Let's take a look at stories coming up. High-level delegation of police officers from the national headquarters visits in Nkranza following clashes between the youth and the police officers on Tuesday, which left one person dead and others sustaining injuries. I'll be giving you updates from Nkranza in our first story, and relative calm returns to Nkranza a day after the police delegation led by top officers from the National Police Headquarters visited the area. And Ibrahim Abote has joined us once again to bring us up to speed to how far the police has gone to ensuring peace. Abote, thank you for your time. Good afternoon. Welcome to Newsbeat.
Yes, good afternoon.
So I spoke with you yesterday and maybe later on in the evening as well. What can you tell us this morning? What's the update?
Currently, entirely, there's calm in Nkranza. People are going about their normal duties. But the police that came, some are still there. And I think a lot of them have gone, but some are still there. I can just see a police entourage coming back to the Nkranza police station. Land cruisers numbering about 8, full of police officers. There are flags on each Land cruiser rating COP. And I don't know whether the delegation that was supposed to leave did not really leave. So this is just the convoy that is coming into the Nkranza police station. They've just arrived, but before then there were already police officers here. 2 buses among the 5 buses that came were still around, and then some pickups were equally there. The water canal that belongs to the Ghana Police Service is still available, and today we really saw something different. The military also came around and they didn't stay for long and they left, but throughout this particular event we've not seen the military officers in any part of Nkranza. Just this morning that I saw a flash of the military officers, within the Nkranza police station. So as we speak, I'm currently at the Nkranza police station, and this is what is happening. But within township, there's calm, and then the injured people are actually responding to treatment. When we compare how they are doing with how they were doing yesterday, there seems to be betterment in relation to their health status.
So what really did you find out about the purpose of the military there?
Well, we couldn't, approach them. They didn't really stop. They just came and then patrolled. They moved towards the police station and they went back to town. But we did not know the reason why they came, whether they are on their normal, activity or whatever. They didn't also stop. So they've gone back to town. We are yet to, go into it and then see whether they are having a different agenda or it is just what happened that they are in for. So
military is numbering what?
I hardly hear you.
I'm asking, what do you think is their rough estimate? How many are they?
The military officers were just in one pickup, and the number, there are about 8 officers in that in the basket of that particular pickup, and then some being inside. So roughly about 10 officers that came and then surveyed and left.
Right. The family of the one person who was shot dead, how far with them? Have you checked up on them? What's going on?
The family of the late Victor, who happened to be a student of the Nkranza Technical Institute, are actually saying that they are devastated by this particular event, and they are actually looking for justice as compared to the first deceased. And the mother, who gave the name as Grace, was actually wailing bitterly, and she said she never expected this to happen to her, and then the government or authorities should do something in relation to the death of her son.
How about the first victim who died in the grips of the police, the one for whom we are here today? The family is saying that they still don't know where his body is kept. Have they gotten, the whereabouts yet?
The family of that particular person are actually saying that they are not interested in dead body. They are interested in the live human being, because they came and arrested him healthy and well, and they cannot, take him to the mortuary because he wasn't sick, and they don't expect the police service to kill their son. So for them, they are saying that they are not accepting anything easily. Even yesterday, they indicated that they are not ready to go and then have any discussion with the police service, because they have realized that they are not really giving them the facts of that issue, and so therefore they are not ready to take anything mild. And according to them, they are heading to the court to seek justice for the late Albert Donko. They indicated that when they came around 2 a.m., the house that we went, the house was actually locked, but the officers were able to scale through into the house, and then they even tried breaking through his window. It didn't work, and they scaled through the house, and they came and arrested him. And this what happened. So therefore, they have seen that there's something completely fishy, and they are not ready to accept any other discussion.
So they are not ready to accept. So should the police report back with a dead body?
Like I indicated, the police they are not, going to have any terms with the police. They are going to the court. The court will decide whatever, and they are saying that the police, they don't expect a dead body from the police, so they don't think there's a dead body. They think there's a live human being. So the police should do whatever they should do and then produce Albert Donko for them. That is what they are saying.
Right. Ibrahim, thank you for your time. Keep following up, and then we'll get back to you. Now, we have also on the line the Bono East Regional Minister, Honorable Kwesi Edu-Jan, to tell us more on what's happening in his area. Hello, sir. Thanks for joining us. You're welcome to Newsbeat. So you've been heard saying that you don't know who gave the police the right to shoot and kill. What have you done about that move made by the police, which has claimed one more life? Hello, sir. Hello, Mr. Minister. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome once again. So I was asking about the behavior, the response by the police to shoot and kill. And you said that you don't even know who gave them the right to do that. What step have you taken on that single or that act of the police that actually maimed people as well?
Well, when a security service or it's on the ground, you, the minister, don't determine what they should do. They look at the circumstances and they act in accordance with the circumstances and the situation that they are faced with. So I will not be able to answer that question.
That the police, in your fair observation, looked at the circumstance on the ground by responding to unarmed civilians to shoot and kill, and you cannot respond to that?
Yes, in a situation where a security officer faces, I'm sure you've seen I'm not holding brief for the shooting and killing of a person, but it was a crime What they did was very criminal. It wasn't part of the activities of fighting for justice for Albert Donko. Okay, I see it as crime, and I think that's how the police did see it. And looking at the kind of damage that was done, and you agree with me, to hold somebody, a whole police team hostage in a police station for more than 2-3 hours, you understand that the aggression was something that was unbearable. Okay, so I will not be able to speak to as to who gave command or what, because I'm a civilian, and I didn't give a command as to what they should do. But that was determined by the situation and the circumstances in which they did find themselves.
We cannot, draw immediate judgment on what the police, action the police took. But as part of a Security Council, as a regional minister, there are standard procedures police goes through when they're trying to control crowd that is being, overreactive as a crowd in Nkranza. And they have numerous procedures they could use or means they could use in controlling the crowd. What is the state of...
I was not part of the team. I am a civilian. I went there first, okay, and had a discussion with the youth, and then made them to stay at bay for a while. And when the police came in, the aggression of the youth was such a situation that was unbearable. And as I've mentioned, that I'm not holding fault with the police.
Mr. Minister.
Because I was not on the back.
Mr. Minister, I'm sorry to cut you, but you have a live bullet. The standard procedure is known even by civilians. Civilians also are aware of standard procedure practice of the Ghana Police Service. That if you have a live bullet and you don't even have any means of crowd control, water cannon, rubber bullets, or any other means you may deploy, and you have the live bullet, even your angle of shooting, we are aware that you can do that. You do not target the head of an unarmed civilian that's demonstrating.
My sister, I've mentioned to you that as a civilian, I don't know where you have to shoot at. It is the responsibility of the police to determine what they have to do in a situation like that. Okay, I have no means of directing whether you should shoot or whether you should. That is within. It's not within my mandate. It's within
Let me kindly remind you that you're not just an ordinary civilian, you're also a minister for an area.
But I don't
so
order
there
the
are
police.
some standards, especially within the security, you would know. You will be well informed about.
The police have their standards, and I don't dictate what they should do.
I
They are
agree to that.
professionals. I don't dictate what they should do. Okay, when they are on operation, they have a commander. They have their own standard processes and procedures. Do you understand me? It is not within my mandate to direct them on the field of operations. That's not of my mandate.
Right. We're looking forward for the investigation to continue until we get to the end of it. But there are some evidences that obviously have been tampered with. The crime scene where the people were shot were all not corded off after the whole clash between the youth and the police. How are you going to be able to get to the bottom of the investigation? I mean, of course, you'll be supporting the police service.
The crime scene. Which crime scene are you talking about?
I'm talking about where the clash happened, where people were shot, where the gentleman fell on the floor when he got the shot in his head and all. I mean, those places probably should be corded off to aid in investigation, but it was left bare.
It's an open field. So what evidence has been tampered with? It isn't a particular room or a house or an enclosed environment. You understand me? It wasn't a closed environment, an enclosed environment. That was an open area in the town. So who has tampered with evidence?
You don't cut off open areas when there's crime.
Yes, but who told you that the areas that these activities happened have been tempered? In what ways have they been tempered with, my sister?
Who told me it's been tampered with?
I mean, in what ways have they been tempered with?
Honorable Minister, what are we doing next?
Yes. Now, there are two
There's
issues here.
Albert family is complaining they don't know the whereabouts of their son.
Exactly. That is what I think we should speak to. Okay? There are two issues now. One is that somebody has lost his life, is missing. And that is what we are working on. And there's another issue, which is criminal, the invasion of the police and the destruction of property. So we should draw a clear line between these two activities. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. On the part of the fight for the justice on Albert Donko, we're still working on it. Since Friday, we have directed the youth on that, the day this incident happened. I was meeting with the youth to get their petition to present to the Minister for National Security so that we move on and then we look at the roadmap. Okay.
Right.
The fight for Albert Donko. It was at that meeting that we heard that the police officer, the police station has been invaded. And then we all left where we were going to receive the petition, and we left to the police station to make sure that lives and property are saved. Okay?
Right.
So that's the investigation, their petitions, their grievances is being looked at. Okay? So we've sent RECTEX these things to the National Security, to the Minister for National Security, okay, what our recommendations on whatever. So we have sent it to. And our recommendations will be looked at by the Minister for National Security, and then we move forward with that. On the part of the activities, that is the invasion of the police station, that is a criminal activity. And I think the police are here. We have the Deputy IGP, here with his team. So they are working to stabilize the place. And those who are liable, those who committed those crimes, it is not the part of the fight for justice for Albert Donko, but that is a criminal activity. And we must all look at it as a criminal activity and bring those culprits to book.
Thank you for your time. Right, thank you for your time. We'll get back to you in subsequent bulletins since this is a running story. The family of Albert Donko has rejected police invitation to meet them. An attempt by the police delegation to discuss with the family ways by which the matter could properly be solved. According to the family, they have lost confidence in the police service and are going to seek justice at the law courts.
IGP no regional commander Faso statement ya omo kan kire ye ansana omo di press release e ba bonten nura no a obia se akora no ye criminal no ma hwehwe na bre no enti omo no ne ya nini omo kan okora nkire enti ya ni Ghana police nkasa enti delegation no yes ye nyia omo ye fi asemwe no ye nyia man nka because ochina ye ni de oba no so na Ghana police so any year nini omo kan okore IGP kawe na regional commander kawe press statement kro mo dia ba bontin no kire say police en kan okore enti no yesi any police in kasa e dia dia asema ma lawyer na any police be kasa.
So now the police, that's a Ghana Police Service, on the manhunt for 5 suspects who escaped the Nkranza District Police Station during an attack by some irate youth. So the following the visit to the area, the director of the public affairs of the Ghana Police Service, Superintendent Alexander Obing, said the police will maintain law and order in the area.
We visited the families of persons who lost their lives and the police personnel who were attacked. The team has also visited the St. Teresa's Hospital to see the patients who were injured in the course of the attack yesterday. 8 of the injured were taken to the hospital, 1 passed on, 2 have been treated and discharged, and 5 are currently there. 5 of those engaged in the despicable attack are also being taken care of. You'll also recall that in the course of the attack, some suspects who were in our custody escaped. One of them has been captured and others are being pursued. A lot of intelligence-led investigations are ongoing to bring all those who were involved in the heinous attack to book. We also witnessed an attack on 2 public facilities at Nkranza. The district and municipal police command at Nkranza suffered attack. Our men are doing everything possible to ensure that calm is restored.
Metro News is following up to bring you all the different developments on the Nkranza clash between the police and the youth. Now let's move on to other stories. And the special prosecutor, as part of his quest to nip corruption in the bud, has filed a suit against a former CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, Ajeni Boateng. The suit slaps the accused on grounds of using public office to gain direct and indirect advantage by influencing procurement process to his benefit.
The former Chief Executive Officer, Ajeni Boateng, has been dragged to court by the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ejabin, for allegedly using public office for profit and directly and indirectly influencing procurement processes to obtain an unfair advantage. According to the release from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, not only is the former Public Procurement Authority boss to face trial, but his brother-in-law, Francis Kweku Ahin, will also face a charge of using public office for profit. The suit forms part of the Special Prosecutor's quest to make corruption an expensive venture for persons who indulge in the act. The alleged procurement breach against the duo forms part of 31 cases listed by the Special Prosecutor late December 9 during the celebration of the International Anti-Corruption Day 2021. The accused persons will be arraigned before the Accra High Court on Wednesday, May 25, 2022.
Now let's take a look at the breakdown of the charges against the former Chief Executive Officer Ajeni Boateng and his brother-in-law by the Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejabin. And well, on the screen it says SP sues for former PPA boss brother-in-law. Charges: 8 counts of using public office for profit. 9 counts of directly and indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of a procurement contract, while Francis Ahin charged with using public office for profit. Case will be heard Wednesday, May 25, 2022. Now let's get on to Zoom for conversation with an anti-corruption campaigner on this issue, Edem Senanu, who is a co-chair of Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Many thanks for joining us, Edem. You're welcome to Newsbeat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Right. So after a long wait, a move by the Special Prosecutor has been made. Should he be applauded by this move or for this move?
Well, yes, I think that commendations are due. We know that office is not adequately resourced, and so every step they take obviously must be commended, especially on the back of Manasseh's expose that the embargo on the accounts of ABIJ had been lifted and money's moved. It was good that within the same day we had information that he's proceeding to court to make sure that the case proceeds, and hopefully we'll find him culpable for some of these actions.
We're hoping that he'll be found culpable.
Yes, I mean, you know, we already had a charge report where he was, as it were, indicted because he could not provide a justification for many of the sums of money found in his accounts. He could not, as it were, indicate legitimate businesses or sources where this monies could be attributed to. So there was already a question hanging, and for which reason that that embargo was placed on their accounts.
But, there's been criticisms that, it was a long wait, hoping that the special prosecutor or some corruption action would have been taken on him long ago until now. And there's been criticisms that all the money's in his account. We've waited for him to clear his monies before we're pretending to be doing something about a seeming corrupt act. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think that it's a fair comment to say that we took too long. But I mean, it's not the doing of the special prosecutor. I mean, he came in at the tail end of this. It was when Martin resigned and the government took quite a while to replace Martin that the embargo expired and ABAJ went back to court and his lawyers managed to convince the court that the embargo should be lifted. Absolutely, the delay was not the kind of thing one would expect under the circumstances. Having said that, the fact that the newly appointed special prosecutor has been able to concretize the charges and already had a date in court, I think that that part is absolutely commendable.
These charges that you say have been concretized, how serious is it that maybe authorities must ensure that this former PPA boss should be around all the time and not travel out or anything of that nature so we can get to the bottom of it? And how fast do you think this case should run?
Well, honestly, that was one of the first questions on my mind when I heard that he'd been able to move the monies out of his accounts. The question on my mind is this man still in the country? So we'll be really delighted if the special prosecutor or the security agencies can confirm that he has not, as it were, jumped jurisdiction and found his way elsewhere. That is a major concern on my mind. Hopefully, if he hasn't, then yes, we expect that the court proceedings should arrive at a conclusion sooner than later. I am assuming that whatever the issues are, if the SP has done a good job, then we're expecting that within the next 6 months, we should have some feedback on the closure of this case.
Well, co-chair Citizens Movements Against Corruption, Edem Senanu, thank you for speaking to us here on Newsbeat. We'll get back to you as far as the story is concerned. You're still watching Newsbeat here from the Ikuabo Ahima studio. We'll take a breather. Be back. You're welcome back to Newsbeat. Let's do some more stories on the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Benita Owusu-Bio, has commenced a media tour of the Achimota Forest. According to the minister, government is committed to protecting and improving the forest reserve and not sell it. Let's cross over now and join reporter Derek Adote, who is currently with the minister and his team.
Of this particular forest. We have also brought in the animals from the Accra Zoo previously when it used to be at the Jubilee House grounds. We've brought them here so that they also form part of the biodiversity and the ecosystem over here. You can tell, as we brought them here, some of them are, they are being bred and they are giving birth. The environment is cool, is good for them. Please, coming soon on June 10th, we intend to carry on with the tree planting exercise that we've been doing here. What we planted are all here, they are growing. You saw them as we walked past. The current ones too, we are going to plant. We will nurture them for them to grow. So please, we want Ghanaians to understand that the Achimota Forest has not been sold and is intact, and we are even making more efforts to make sure that it becomes the forest that we know. Currently, if you look at the terrain, you realize most of the plants here are shrubs. But then there's a need for us to make sure that we reforest it for it to look as a typical forest. That effort is ongoing. So with all such developments, why would we want to sell the Achimota forest? Please, Achimota forest has not been sold, it's not for sale, and it will not be sold.
The question is asking, so we're going to take the questions in badges. So please.
What's happening there?
We indeed asserted and reclassified, and then portions of it will be returned to the custodial owners, the Ewu family. 361 of that. Honorable, we want to understand which portions of the forest.
We will get there, because I cannot use my eyes or whatever to show you.
But you didn't
or
have
my
portions before you came
hands.
out with the
I
EI.
cannot. You are here with us. We are going on a tour. When we get there and we show it to you, you'll be able to describe it on your own. It's important that the right thing is said. I don't want us to just judge or just guess. Please, we will be going there and you will see it. But what we are saying is that we have not declassified this entire forest. Bear that in mind. Years back, in 1960, the Gimpa area was declassified. And now we have Gimpa serving a purpose which is good for the nation. Likewise, we intend to, we have declassified the peripheral portions for the pre-acquisition owners. Yes, of course, on humanitarian grounds, they deserve something. And also is their constitutional right to be compensated. Don't forget that the Constitution states that all lands that go under compulsory acquisition, the owners have to be compensated, and compensation must be prompt, adequate, and fair. I am happy that today the Owu family have also issued a statement regarding the whole issue. Please, let's also understand their case.
And that's a live view from the Achimota Forest with the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Benito Owusu-Biu, going round with the media team. Now, regarding the Owu family, following the recent discussion on the sale of the plans to classify portions of the Achimota Forest, the family at the center of the conversation have in a statement sought to set the record straight. It reads, let's give you the slice of the statement, and it says that, okay, Owu family response to the Achimota Forest saga. We, the Owu family, have restrained ourselves from participating in the ongoing debates as a result of good advice and judgment. We have, however, reluctantly wished to set a few records straight as follows. 1. The Owu family, the pre-acquisition owners of all the lands acquired in 1921 and 1927 for the Achimota School, have suffered grave historical injustice. 2. Can we go? Okay, right. 2. The family have had to, in the past, accept and or acquire the terms to enable it on which it strongly believes have been unfair and unjust. 3. The much talked about 19th August 2016 ceremony, which has been erroneously stated in the public as an occasion when the land was released to the Owu family, is false and misleading. That ceremony was a sword-cutting ceremony for the development of the Achimota Forest into an eco-tourism park. The Owu family were mere invitees or guests. 4, the Owu family has always maintained that compensation has not been paid for the 1927 acquisition. And 5, the acreage due to the Owu family was arrived at through a long-standing negotiation which in many respects predates the current administration. This was done with the active involvement of various state technical negotiators and agencies. Parcel of land to date. We commit to conducting ourselves in a manner which will not compromise the ecological integrity of the adjoining forest reserve and call on the general public to please disregard any misleading contributions to the ongoing public discussions. Now let's do some other stories. And the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has warned Ghanaians against traveling to the Gao region in the northern of Mali. This is due to the abduction and execution of travelers, especially Christians, in that part of the country. The ministry, in a statement, also advised Ghanaians who are already in Gao region to flee immediately for their safety and security. So those who are unable to leave are advised to the minister their movements, monitor developments in their locality, and take precautionary measures. Joining us via Zoom is a Malian journalist, Usman Sagara, who works with the Renovo TV to share some perspectives on this. Ugara, thank you for your time. You're welcome to Newsbeat here in Ghana. How is Mali and the state of Mali as far as this insurgency is concerned? What can you tell us? Kindly do unmute your mic, if you may. Thank you. All right, so we're trying to have a conversation with a journalist in Mali to bring us up to speed with the state of security as far as these extremists are concerned. We're told the report is that visitors are being executed. Yeah, I can hear you, Iguara. Can you go on?
Okay, so I guess the security situation is, so we can say it's improving compared to the past 5 years, mainly the area where you're talking about, mainly Gao. Yes, there is a sporadic attacks now today. That is a reality. But in when you try to see, when to compare it with the central part of the country, we can say that Gao is today better. But as I say, there is sometimes sporadic attacks. Jihadist people that are very hard to be controlled because they are spread in the area, 3 persons, 4, 5, 6 persons. So they are no more together and they make their different attacks in this way. That's why it's really very difficult now to counter these people. But the main problem today is no more the northern Mali, but it's the central today. Gao, yes. Gao, because before the arrival of French Serval army, jihadists spent about 3 years in this area. And when French Serval forces came and chased them away, some were killed, but some gathered themselves again back now, but they are not so numerous. There are 2, 3, 5, and they make attack, they disappear. Really, this is the situation in Gao now. And let's precise that Gao is one of the largest, let's say, is the largest region in northern Mali, where one of the biggest military camps is also located. Now, the main problem today, I can say, is in the central in 3, 4 past months. Some villages were killed, people were killed anywhere. It's very, very difficult. But today, in these 3 last months, situation is improving.
Usman, have you had this experience before, or is the first time Mali is experiencing this?
No, this is the first time Mali is experiencing, because Mali has never known this kind of jihadism, this kind of attacks in the past. It started, as you know, with the coup d'etat of 2012 against Amadou Toumani Touré. And this was the beginning of all the crises of Mali. And everybody knows that all these jihadists are from Libya. Yeah, they're all from Libya. But before the era, where some separatists that we call MLR. So they were fighting to separate Mali into two, Northern and Central. But now with the problem of Libya, so jihadists from Libya join MLR people, those who would like to separate. So they get hands to each other to fight against Mali army. But today we can affirm you, we can declare that things are improving.
Well, just finally, is the Mali government doing anything to, curb the situation? Because I know you say that they are now moving in a scattered form and not in a group form. So how are you working towards that?
Malian forces are also, because in the past, Malian forces are on the same place where in the different camps, and they were attacked by these people. Now today, what we call Malian army is moving, is looking for where jihadists are hiding.
Right.
That's why they are having really victories on them. Yesterday, I mean in the past years, past months. So yesterday, is the jihadists who move and come to attack Malian army. Now today, Malian army is no more on the same place. They are moving, they're looking for jihadists everywhere and to fight against them.
Right.
That's the situation now.
Right. Usman, thank you for your time. We'll get back to you and see how the situation is going. Usman Sagara is actually coming to us from Mali. He's a journalist there. Let's now cross over for some business updates. And in business, the Chief Operations Officer of Delex Finance, Joe Jackson, has urged the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana to maintain policy rate of 17%. According to him, increasing the rate will continue to fuel inflation. He said this ahead of the announcement of the monetary policy rate on Monday, 23rd of May 2022.
Fuel prices are not coming down. In fact, this month, there's been another fuel price increase. And you'll notice that the issue to do with food is that farm gate prices are not as high. The problem is the transportation of food from farm gate to market, and that cost is very high. So one of the challenges we are going to face is that the inflation, not all the inflation issues are monetary in the course. And so the dilemma the central bank and the MPC committee is facing is that I have really high inflation. The costs are all not monetary. In fact, money supply hasn't been growing that much. So what do you do? In such situations, you may find that increasing the monetary policy rate by too high a rate may actually fuel the inflation again. So it's a tough call. Well, reduce, it won't work. So let's forget reduction. It's about, I would think that if I was there, given the minimal information I have, I would maintain.
Now, CEO of Horseman Shoes and the panelist at the just ended 2022 Ishmael Yamsing and Associates Roundtable, Tony Sanyanya, has charged young people in business to have a change of mindset. According to him, impact and change can only be realized if people take their work ethics seriously. He made this submission during the 2022 Ishmael Yamsing Roundtable discussion.
All discussions will be meaningless if we do not create a cultural mindset and attitudinal change. Change and positive impact can only come if we, as Ghanaians, develop a mindset that encourages integrity, discipline, and discourages entitlement. The Ghanaians generally have very poor work ethic, and it is seen across various sectors, from civil service through to employees in private sector, among professionals, small businesses, and artisans. And I'm sure for artisans, a lot of Ghanaians would relate to it. Changing attitudes goes beyond mere admonition through speeches at national parades. We must, as a matter of urgency, treat our attitude towards work as a national pandemic and work to define what the national Ghanaian values are. This will require...
Well, that's all we have for you for business. When we come back from this break, sports, it's next.
My name is Fayo John Quartin. It's time for sports in the Ghana Premier League Matchday 29 tie at Accra Sports Stadium yesterday. Defending champions Accra Hasselhoff managed a long goal victory over Bibiani Gold Stars. Samuel Nkunku scored the only goal of the match. Let's hear both coaches.
Feeling great because this is a very tough game. The problem that we had, we lost most of the players due to the infection, and we came in strongly with the psychologically. I sacked the boys that they shouldn't look down, so they should always do their maximum best, and this shows on the field of play.
Your next game is in Techiman when you play against 11 Wonders. What is the latest on the players and their fitness, because that trip is only over the weekend?
Yeah, some of them are in the hospitals and some of them have been given the drugs to take in. So from tomorrow going, we'll assess them. If possibly they can go with us. If not, we manage this team, and I know that probably when you go there, we do something different.
Let me first congratulate the Hasselhoff team. I think with all their problems, they were able to, they get the whole 3 points. I will congratulate them. But I think in the game wise, we are self to be blamed, because it's a game that we don't have to lose. Physically, we were ahead of Hasselhoff. I think in the maybe first 15-20 minutes, it was a balanced game. But after end of the first half to the full game on the second half, I think we were ahead of them. Putting pressure, a lot of pressure on them, but we couldn't take the chances. We couldn't score.
A reaction after yesterday, Ghana Premier League Accra Sports Stadium with the Phobians beating Bibiani Gold Stars by a goal 2-0. Let's focus on Division 1 now, because Liberty Professional yesterday's book took a giant step towards top flight football after beating Tema Youth by 2-1 in a crucial Division 1 Zone 3 match at the Tamale Sports Stadium. Stephen Bochwe is in charge of Liberty Professionals.
Finally, it has come to pass, because if I pass this hurdle, I'm through. Yes, and God so good I've passed the hurdle. Like I told you from the beginning, we take match after match. But Tema Youth have been the problem of our game, because he's leading. We just have to overtake him, then he can be the first on the first stop. Now we have overtaken him, so I can tell you for sure that the next match will be a MF1, because we are going to prepare very well. They are a good side, no doubt about it. They are a good side. But the magic is, conditionally we were ahead of them. So we know when they play, they will get tired and will come back. We have never done finish. But like I told you from the beginning, they are our problem, because they are leading us. We need to be at the top, then we can call ourselves leaders. Now we are at the top, so we are leaders.
So how will you rate the officiating?
Stephen Bochwe is the head coach of Dansoman Liberty Professionals, reacting after they managed to beat Tema Youth yesterday at the Tamale Sports Stadium in that crucial Zone 3 tie. That's it for sports, and I are standing by for the latest in showbiz.
Thank you, Johnny. Entertainment is next. My name is Sanaya Tanwabuache. Multiple award-winning Ghanaian rapper Sarkodie has announced a joint concert with music duo R2B scheduled for July 30 in New York. In a promotional video posted on social media, the friends are promising a back-to-back performance of their hit songs for their fans on the night of the concert, dubbed It's About Time. The friends, who began their career together from Tema, have put fans on social media into a frenzy after the announcement, having been on songs together including Baby, Oluwa Is Involved, and most recently Yawa. Here are excerpts of the video.
Oh, Biddy, Paul Biddy.
Wow, Charlie, a quick one. I just get here, I just think about some epic idea. It's about that time Saturday had to be we mount some major concert outside Ghana. I'm thinking New York.
Charlie, real talk. My mind day, man. Charlie, you know, say we don't do something like this before.
Now what pay they day? Make we put them on the phone. Make we conclude.
Yeah, man. One time. Kaboom. Yeah, so Charlie, Sack just they tell me about some Yankee show right now. I think say they make sense for us. Stay there on myself.
Oh yeah? Oh.
Up in the palm, baby.
Easy. Trust me. Classic song. Back to back. If you drop, give it to me. Baby, Ajay, you know, Bela Trap, Tema. Oluwa is involved. You know, all the joints that we do together, plus our own personal joints.
Yeah. I even think so for add some of the boys, if you get me. And I'm be rinsing crying. You find call and can't crank yourself.
Okay, then we share Titanic.
So why you keep on screaming?
Now, away from that, American singer-songwriter and dancer Chris Brown has unveiled the details of his forthcoming album, Breezy, which includes a feature of Made in Lagos superstar Wizkid.
The R&B superstar shared the details on his Instagram page with the caption, June 24th, Breezy album. The cover art is a black and white photo of the back of Brown's head with Breezy shaved into his hair. The 33-year-old also teased some of the features on the album, including Lil Wayne, Tory Lanez, Anderson .Paak, Wizkid, Ella Mai, Her, among others. Breezy serves as the official follow-up to 2019's Indigo, Chris Brown's second double album. Indigo debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 with over 108,000 total album equivalent units sold in its opening week, which included 28,000 pure album sales in its first week. The album also accumulated 97.95 million on-demand audio streams in the US.
And that's all on entertainment. Annie, over to you.
Thank you, Nanaya. Now let's turn our attention to the international front. Now, a UN tribunal has announced the death of another Rwandan genocide fugitive who was among the last 5 suspects still at large. The UN's residual mechanism for international criminal tribunals have said that it had determined the Phineas Monirugrama died in 2002 in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. In a statement on Wednesday, the tribunal said it was able to conclude following the comprehensive and challenging investigation that the Monirugrama died from natural cause on 28 February 2022. Now, the former Rwandan military commander has been charged with the 8 counts, including genocide and crimes against humanity. Well, that's what we have for you this afternoon, Newsbeat. We came to you live from the Akua Bahema Studio North. Rach will be back at 4 with News Flash and at 7 with News Night. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon.